Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Helldivers 2 video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over, from in-game stuff to out-of-game stuff. Let's start off with the last major order, which was a success. We managed to hold Turing. The success message here says Turing has been held. The Helldivers rebuffed multiple attempts by the Terminators to arrest construction of the Xeno-Entomology Center, but the mindless bug assaults were no match for the keen strategic minds of democracy's elite. Meanwhile, the automatons attempted to capitalize on our noble scientific efforts by assaulting Mastia, intending to cut off the DSS logistics hub from the DSS itself. But the Helldivers quickly organized a daring counterattack, saving Mastia and liberating Shelt in the process. Thanks to these valiant efforts, ground has been broken on the new Xeno-Entomology Center on Turing. Super Earth's leading Terminid experts and FTL engineers from across the galaxy have converged on the planet to begin development of high-efficiency Alcubierre drives. These new drives will enable the Democracy Space Station to warp between planets at the Helldivers' direction, dispensing freedom wherever it is needed. Research and development of this new technology will take weeks. The center must remain safe from Terminid infestation until then, or our research progress will be lost. Thanks to the valiant efforts of the Helldivers, all of humanity will soon step forward into a more prosperous, energy efficient and peaceful future. So as you can see there, we managed to hold multiple planets. It was a complete assault from both fronts of the war, and we managed to fend off everything. It was a really cool thing to see us unite as one community to fend off multiple assaults on different planets and also take ground in the process. We took Shelt, like this message said. We took multiple other planets in the Terminid sector. It was really cool, and we managed to hold Turing in the process, which means we move on to the next major order. The briefing here states, development of the Democracy Space Station proceeds on schedule. The next step to construct the powerful battle station is the establishment of the Deep Mantle Forge complex. The Deep Mantle Forge will use extreme heat and pressure near a planet's core to create an extremely strong and ductile chromium cobalt nickel alloy. The powerful alloy will be required to withstand the acceleration of the immense DSS to warp speeds. We have identified atmospheric readings on Clararel indicating the automatons are already engaging in deep mantle mining operations on the planet. Liberating their mining tunnels and repurposing their facilities would greatly accelerate the construction of the Deep Mantle Forge. Further, it would deny the automatons their own access to the high-cost mine network and reveal insight into their larger intentions. The Helldivers are directed to liberate Clararel and its deep mantle mining complex from the automatons. So this one's a little more complicated because, again, we have to take multiple planets from the automatons, and through this we'll get more progress on the DSS, but also we might receive some intel on what the automatons are up to, which will be very interesting to see. But for this one we have to take multiple planets. We have to either take Classa and then Clararel, or we take Imber then Clararel. And as you can see, people are sort of divided on which one to take. We could theoretically take both, but with only 3 days and 11 hours as of recording this video, I'd rather concentrate on taking one of them and then taking Clararel, making sure we get the major order done, and then whatever's left over we take at a later date. So I'm very interested to see how this major order goes. We haven't got a lot of time to take multiple planets, but it is the weekend, so we should see a spike in the player base, which means we'll hopefully get this done in time, but we might be cutting it a bit close on this one, I won't lie. In other news though, we got the blueprints for the upcoming Democracy Space Station. We have a message here that says, once complete, the Democracy Space Station will be a new strategic level weapon. It will wield powerful Helldiver directed weaponry to aid in the liberation of its orbited planet. Through a cutting edge voting system, the Helldivers will determine where to deploy the DSS and when to use its capabilities. And then we have the blueprint itself. So it's looking like this is going to be more of a stratagem based asset, where we'll get to call in a stratagem and it will be like this big weapon that we probably will only be able to use sparingly during missions. But I'm sure it will be a huge weapon and really change the tide of every mission that happens on the planet that the station is over. And on the blueprint here, you can see the multiple different parts for the new space station. But there's a couple things I want to point out here. First off, there are sponsors. and Eagle Sweat is one of them. I don't know if you guys have seen the in-game ads for Eagle Sweat. It's basically a fragrance within the Helldivers universe. And then we have known issues and confidential. I'm going to start with the confidential. For Ministry of Defense eyes only, any similarity to other battle stations, real or imagined, is coincidental. The Democracy Space Station is the property of Super Earth and her people, and unlawful possession of this document is equal to stealing from all of humanity. If found, return to Ministry of Defense representative and report to your loyalty officer for questioning. I think this is meant to be a joke on the fact that we kept calling it basically the Death Star of the Helldivers universe. So they've decided to lean into that and make a joke of it in this blueprint here, which I think is very cool. And then known issues. You have to zoom in very close to read this. It's very much small print here. But beams in Sector 77C lacking structural integrity, risk of collapse, E710 drive combustion sparks unstable, risk of self-combustion at use over 33 miles per hour, I think is what that says at the end there, which is nuts. Insufficient space for lavatories, removed to make space for sentry repair units. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the Democracy Space Station, you cannot take a poop and you cannot go for a wee. At least not in a designated area. You're going to have to do it either off the space station or the corridors are going to be full of piss. Insufficient budget for pressure equalization. Current pressure calculations estimated minus 235 mmkg. Projections show bedding for living spaces not within budget reach. Donations from Super Citizen Anne's Hospital for very sick children to compensate. What a ridiculous... Why? So you can't go to bed? Is that what they're saying? There's not enough room? So we're going to make a charity donation? Goodness me. And then to add on to this, they will reward children with a one-time field trip to the DSS for heroic sacrifice for democracy. These issues are ridiculous. I'm not sure what to make of them. I find it very funny that there's no toilets and no beddings. So if you're ever stationed on this space station, I apologize in advance, but it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. But don't worry, it's a huge weapon that we'll be able to use in the Second Galactic War, so it's all worth it, right? And then the last thing I want to bring your attention to is the Golden Joystick Awards. Voting is now open and Helldivers is in there. Helldivers 2 has been nominated for 3 awards. Best Multiplayer Game, Console Game of the Year, Best Game Trailer for the Fight for Freedom Begins launch trailer, which if you guys know is the opening cutscene whenever you open Helldivers 2, that's the trailer, is that opening cutscene that plays every time you open the game. And then one last thing, Arrowhead Game Studios has also received the Studio of the Year nomination. Now, if you're like me and absolutely love Helldivers 2, go support them by voting for them in the Golden Joystick Awards. I've already voted for all the categories that were available. There's about 20 questions there, multiple games for you to select from, but I would highly advise voting for Helldivers 2 if you're enjoying it as much as I am. And vote for Arrowhead Game Studios for Studio of the Year, because I think they thoroughly deserve it. After the whole Sony PSN debacle, after the balance issues, Arrowhead have worked their asses off to bring the game back to where it needed to be, and I think the game is in a really good place, and it's thanks to the hard work that Arrowhead Game Studios has done. So be sure to vote for them in the Golden Joystick Awards. Let me know in the comments down below if you do end up voting, what games you're voting for in those categories. If you for some reason don't vote for Helldivers 2, let me know what you're going to vote for instead, and let me know what you think of the new major order and if we're going to succeed. Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Helldivers 2 content. Guys, we're so close to 700 subs. Let's keep it going. Become a member today if you want to support me in another way. You'll get early access videos and live streams. And thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!